So these Arabs, when they did not have the resources of revenues and income, so what they would do is they will invade one or other tribes. When they invade the tribes, they will steal their livestock, they will take their wealth, because often they used to attack in the darkness of the night and whatnot, and they take their daughters as a booty. And they will keep those women as their slaves and also sexually abuse them because they were considered to be slaves. Again, this was totally robbery and crime, that kidnapping the daughters. So it is mentioned in one of the narration I was reading about the history, that what was the origin of hatred for the daughters. So one of the tribal chief, his daughter was kidnapped by another tribe, and I forgot his name. If I remember, I'll mention to you, because it's tough to remember all the names. So what happened was, this man, when his daughter went with the or wife, when she was kidnapped by the other tribes, and they kept her. And once they kept her, later on the treaties was done and things were settled, and they were supposed to return their daughters. And that woman, the wife or the daughter of that tribal chief, refused to return to him. And that was a big disgrace for him. And after that, he started hating this matter, because woman apparently fell in love with the guy who kidnapped her, or liked him, whatever. And there have been a lot of details written on those. I don't want to go into those details because of attraction, because of the youth, and because of their loves and strong and strength and power, whatever. The woman was intimidated or whatnot, or loved him and liked him, so she refused to return to her parents or the husband. And since then, that tribe starts saying, if we will not have women, so they will not kidnap them, and they will not hold them as our honor. So again, it became a matter of honor and dignity, that if a man have a daughter, if she get kidnapped or taken by another man in marriage, the man would think him as a less, like the father-in-law was thought or treated to be less than the man's father or family. And women were then sold in slavery. Women were sold as a prisoner. So there were many other ways that women were source of bringing weakness to the family and the honor. So and when they married, they are supposed to be given dowry and all that. So all these things were considered as a part of a person's dislike. So, and we know today in India they do a female infanticide because of the similar reasons, that they don't want to give the wealth to the son. And many places I heard, I am not known in person, and it is done in subcontinent. Particularly, I think I heard about Pakistan. People, the landlords, what they did is, because if they marry their daughter to another family, they have to give her land as a share of her inheritance. So what they did is they start marrying their daughter to the Quran. And that was another sinful act, because they thought that that girl will not marry, so wealth will never go, the son will inherit all the wealth. So there are many ways to abuse women, and this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that in Islam, the woman and a child born is an honor to the father, they are ticket to the parents, to the paradise. Prophet says, whoever raise 3, 2, or 1, like these fingers together, he says, and raise them good women and marry them away, they will be with me in the paradise like these 2 fingers. So there are a lot of promises. She brings the half of the faith of her husband. She had the paradise under her feet of her children, no matter how pious and or honorable they are. And yesterday I was talking about Fatima radiallahu anha, and this is really the moment to just reflect. She is the most honorable woman ever walked on the face of this earth. Why? She is a daughter of a prophet. She is wife of Ali radiallahu anhu. Prophet says Ali is a kulli deen and kulli Islam. He is a complete faith and he is complete iman. And when she brought half of the faith of Ali, how much more she could be contributing to that. And then her son, both of her son are Sayyid al-Shabab Ahlul Jannah, Hassan al-Hussein alayhum salam, and she hold their paradise under her feet. So you can imagine the princes of the paradise, their paradise is under the feet of Fatima radiallahu anha. Her father, she is the ticket to the father, who is himself the prophet and the most beloved of Allah. So there could be no more honor than the honor of being a daughter of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There could be no more honor than the honor of a wife of a man who is a kul Islam and kul iman. And then there will be no more honor than the honor of the mother of those two whose paradise under her feet. Could you imagine what her honor? There's no woman matches that. Sayyida Maryam alayhi salam has only one honor. Her honor was that she's the mother of Isa alayhi salam. But Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha had 3 times honor. And people compare Aisha with Fatima radiallahu anha, that who is honorable. This is wrong competition. You can imagine, Sayyida Fatima is the daughter of Rasulullah and Aisha is a daughter of Abu Bakr. Whose daughter is more, Prophet's daughter or Abu Bakr's? That's it. The second thing is, Aisha is the wife of Prophet, and Fatima is the wife of Ali. Ali is everything, but he is not Prophet or above Prophet. So she is the wife of a Prophet, Aisha, and Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, both of them. And Fatima is the wife of Ali radiallahu anha. So they have their place. There's no competition. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ali, your house will be in front of my house in the paradise. So this is something just to share with. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a wisdom about the faith. Let's listen to the verse number 59.
يتوارى من القوم من سوء ما بشر به أيمسكه على هون أم يدسه في التراب ألا ساء ما يحكمون.
He hides himself from people because of the self-presumed bad news given to him, and wonders, shall he keep it despite the disgrace he will face in the society, or put it away into the dust? In fact, evil is what they decide.
للذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة مثل السوء ولله المثل الأعلى وهو العزيز الحكيم.
Those who do not believe in the hereafter have evil attributes, and to Allah belong the most exalted attributes. He is the mighty, the wise.
So this verse tells that these Arabs, when they used to have a news of a daughter is born in their home, they would hide themselves out of feeling the disgrace. This was the most horrible thing they did. Prophet ﷺ taught us how to honor a daughter. It was the only person, whenever she visited him, he would stand up. He would receive her. He will hold her hand and give a kiss to her hand and kiss her forehead. Prophet did not kiss anybody except Hasnain Karimain and Fatima radiallahu anha, and he will give his seat to her. Nobody got the seat. Whenever they came in, Prophet never stood up to give his seat to them. So Prophet saying that totally opposite to that, to show the people and mankind what an honor a daughter is for the Muslim. So we as a Muslim should be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the Islam and giving us a daughter to be into the paradise. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all the daughters.
ولو يؤاخذ الله الناس بظلمهم ما ترك عليها من دابة ولكن يؤخرهم إلى أجل مسمى فإذا جاء أجلهم لا يستأخرون ساعة ولا يستقدمون.
If Allah were to seize the people for their transgression, He would have spared no creature on earth, but He lets them go on up to an appointed time. So, when their time will come, they will not be able to delay it for a moment, nor to bring it soon.
وَيَجْعَلُونَ لِلَّهِ مَا يَكْرَهُونَ وَتَصِفُ أَلْسِنَتُهُمُ الْكَذِبَ أَنَّ لَهُمُ الْحُسْنَى لَا جَرَمَ أَنَّ لَهُمُ النَّارَ وَأَنَّهُمْ مُفْرَطُونَ.
They assign to Allah what they themselves dislike, and their tongues make the false statement that for them there is a happy end. No, fire is imminently theirs, and they are being driven towards it speedily.
تالله لقد أرسلنا إلى أمم من قبلك فزين لهم الشيطان أعمالهم فهو وليهم اليوم ولهم عذاب أليم.
By Allah, we sent messengers to communities before you, but the Satan made their deeds look good to them. So, he is their patron today, and for them there is a painful punishment.
So in these three verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again describing what the sinners and their punishment would be. But one very important thing which as a Muslim we need to remember, the verse number 63, Allah says, Tallahi, Allah saying, by Allah, laqad arsalna, we have sent messengers, ila umamin, among the nations, min qablika, before you, fazayyana lahum ash-shaytan, so decorated, made the shaitan for a'malahum, their deeds and action, fahuwa waliyuhum, and he is their friends and protector and guardian, al-yawma, today, walahum adabun alim. So today the shaitan looks like to be their best friend, and for them there is a painful punishment is waiting. In other words, when we hear the message of Prophet and the message from Allah and we say no, we are fine, we are okay, and we do not want to obey that, we need to be mindful about it, we need to be careful about it. Unless it is acceptable among the scholars of Islam, we should obey the Prophet's command over our own like and dislike and culture and tradition. This is something very, very important. And inshallah, let's listen to the few more ayahs. Inshallah, we'll end it today with that.
وما أنزلنا عليك الكتاب إلا لتبين لهم الذي اختلفوا فيه وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون.
We have sent down the book to you, only because you may explain to them what they differed about, and so that it may be guidance and mercy for a people who believe.
والله أنزل من السماء ماء فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يسمعون.
Allah sent down water from the heavens and revived the land with it after it was dead. Surely, in that there is a sign for a people who listen.
So verse number 63, Allah is taking oath by himself that he has sent messenger among the nations, and now the conversation is turning towards that Allah has sent this book which explain, and those who have differed among them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying this is not of significance, and Allah's guidance and mercy is for those people who believe. So the matter of the book is to believe in the book, believe in the Prophet. If you don't believe in Prophet, you don't believe in book. If you don't believe in Prophet and the book, you don't believe in Allah. And this is kind of a thing. And now the conversation is switching towards skies and earth and whatever, the water cycle, so that the nature is being described, and then also livestock and animal. There's a lesson in every one of them. So lesson in learning about them existence, like veterinarian science, also their physical existence and their being and what they are and their emotions and their nature of the animals. There's a message for us. We can understand that Quran is giving us that message. Seek Allah in His creation. Don't seek for Allah in His self. You will be lost, because Allah is unlimited and you cannot have unlimited ability. Man is given a limited ability. Somebody asked Ali radiallahu ta'ala, what is the limit of a person? He said, stand up on 1 foot. Then the man took lift up on 1 foot, or stood up on 1 foot. Then he said, lift your 2nd foot. And he said, I will fall. Ali radiallahu ta'ala says, this is the limit. You can only stand up to 1 foot. So there is so much limit a man can comprehend. Iman and believe in Allah and His book and His scriptures and His prophets and His creations, and honoring each other is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. Listen to the next few verses, inshallah, then we will end.
وَإِنَّ لَكُمْ فِي الْأَنْعَامِ لَعِبْرَةً نُسْقِيكُم مِّمَّا فِي بُطُونِهِ مِن بَيْنِ فَرْثٍ وَدَمٍ لَبَنًا خَالِصًا سَائِغًا لِلشَّارِبِينَ.
Surely there is a lesson for you in the cattle. We provide you, out of what lies in their bellies between feces and blood, there, drink of, milk, pure and pleasant for those who drink.
This is a very beautiful verse, which a lot of scientific and medical science people have worked upon it. And this verse says that when the animal graze on the grass, right, the cow, for example. And a portion of that grass turns into feces, the portion turns into the flesh and blood of the animal, and a portion is turned into milk. And this is, again, the milk is right next to the area which is colon of the animal. And also the blood is running in there between the udders. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, this is my science and creation, that you see that the grass turn a portion into dung, a portion into milk, and a portion into blood, and a portion into flesh. And you find a pure, healthy milk, which has all the nutrients in it. It has fat, carbohydrates, and protein. Milk is the perfect food, and it is the initial food for all human. And all mammalians creatures survive on their mother's milk. And this is something which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is creating. Like in human, the nursing, or the milk comes from the chest, which is far from the bowel. But in animal, goat and cows and camel, their udders are next to the colon. So this is something very beautiful. Quran has described an anatomical description that how the human or animal or mammalian body exists. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the wisdom to comprehend it. Let's listen to the further verses about God is saying, in my creation, seek my existence or my creation as believe in me.
ومن ثمرات النخيل والأعناب تتخذون منه سكرا ورزقا حسنا إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يعقلون.
And from the fruits of date palms and grapevines, you obtain intoxicants and good provision. Surely, in that there is a sign for a people who understand.
وأوحى
So this verse number 67, Allah says, وَمِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ النَّخِيلِ, and from the fruits of date palms, وَعَنَاب, and the grapevines, تَتَّخِذُ مِنْهُ ثَكَرًا, from which you obtain, means people, Arabs used to make wine from dates and from what you call grapes, because these were the one fruits were found. There were 5 types of wine they used to make. Among them was the date, grape, figs, also what you call there are other fruits, because they were not all the fruits which are found in other places in the world. So anyhow, so this has been referred to that from this you make intoxicant by fermenting, and then good provision when you sell those or you do business and trade, you get provision from that. And surely inna fi dhalika laayatin liqawmin ya'qilun, in this there are signs of people who have intellect or have the ability to understand. So for us to understand that in everything there's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's God's divinity and divine hand is working. In other words, if there is a 2 type of grapes or 2 type of dates or 2 type of plants and tree, seed is planted in the same ground, water is the same, and the neighborhood is same, but each seed produces its own fruit, and each fruit has its own branch, and all the branches are not same, all the fruits are not same, and how many flowers will turn into fruit, and how many of those will be turned into intoxicant, and how many will be taken as a fruit. And there's a lot of things to think about just when it comes to think about botany and zoology and biology and human and other sciences. All these tell us that God, how delicate, perfect creatures, every one of the creatures is existing without any interruption for centuries. In other words, with the seed, all the seeds giving fruits, all kind of seeds giving fruits, all kind of earth giving plants and trees, all human and all animal kingdom, all the other creatures are getting their sustenance. They all individually are different, and they are having very individual personalities among animals and among humans and all that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is my doing, my Allah's godliness. This is the qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. I will stop it here today because next verses is starting about the honeybee, which will be longer discussion. Inshallah, we will begin next Sunday. With this, I will stop here today, and